Hello and welcome to Mad About Sports. Of course, we are back with another video, and this time around, we're going to be talking about the Women's Premier League auction, of course, which just got over. What a phenomenal spectacle that was, because in the first time in the history of the Women's Premier League, an auction has taken place, and almost close to 450 players who had to go under the hammer. And you saw some players getting some really high bids, some players being value for money buys. Of course, the five franchises had to be strategically very precise in terms of buying these players as well. Because at the start of the auction, every franchise only had 12 crores of budget to spend, and then they had to build a squad. That was the constraint of finances in comparison with men's IPL, where you have close to 60 to 70 crore to spend. So considering the constraints, a lot of teams have put in a phenomenal job in terms of buying some of the important players, getting them for value buys, and some players did miss out on an IPL deal as well, which we'll be talking, of course, further in the video. Let's start off by talking about the first player in the history of women's IPL to get sold, right? It was Smriti Mandhana, who was also the record-breaking buy of the Women's Premier League, who went for 3.4 crores to the Royal Challengers Bangalore. Of course, it was a bidding war between Mumbai Indians and the Royal Challengers Bangalore to get in the ace left-hand batter from the Indian team. And of course, Smriti Mandhana might be the Royal Challengers Bangalore skipper as well. And that's where Royal Challengers Bangalore got off to a flyer, where you can say they got in Smriti Mandhana. At the same time, on the other end, they also got an Elise Perry to start off with for 1.7 crores, because people felt Royal Challengers Bangalore would be slightly subtle in terms of their men's IPL strategies, but then it was just the opposite in terms of how they went about it in the Women's Premier League to get Elise Perry and Smriti Mandhana in a quick succession. And also adding to that list was Sophie Devine, who the New Zealand captain and the all-rounder, was a great start for the Royal Challengers Bangalore. Let's talk about the other player, right? When we talk about the Indian skipper Harmanpreet Kaur, she was bought by Mumbai Indians, and that's primarily because Mumbai Indians, they wanted a skipper, and Mumbai Indians were looking out for a player like Smriti Mandhana, and they got in the services of Harmanpreet Kaur for a, we can say it was a value for money kind of a buy, because it was just for 1.8 crores. And you have to feel, right, it is a kind of strategy. You have to understand the dynamics of the auction at a stage where a player is going to be coming in. And in the marquee set, of course, Harmanpreet Kaur was also a player which was expected to go in excess of 3 crores, but then 1.8 crore. You'd feel like it's a value for money buy. When you talk about Smriti Mandhana and the purse of Royal Challengers Bangalore, you have to say it is close to 25 crore, which is close to 25 crore, which could have been spent in men's IPL, because you have spent close to almost one fourth of your purse, or one third of your purse rather, on Smriti Mandhana. From there on, it was a Herculean task for Royal Challengers Bangalore to put up a squad as well. But now let's talk about another player, right, who gotten a lot of bids. It was Ashley Gardner, who was bought for a whooping 3.2 crores. She was the highest ever overseas player to be bought by an IPL team yesterday, because she was bought by the Gujarat Giants for 3.2 crores. You know what Ashley Gardner brings into any team? The all-round skills which Ashley Gardner has got in herself, and also at the same time she can bat anywhere in the batting order from 1 to 6, and also ball quality bowling as well. That all-round skill which Ashley Garner brings is the reason why she has gone for 3.2 crores, and also she's an informed player. Alongside her, another player who went for a similar amount of money was Natalie Skiver, who went for Mumbai Indians as well, because Mumbai Indians also wanted a similar mold of player who could come in and do an all-round job, and that's where you felt like, yes, she is someone who can fetch a lot of money, and rightfully so. She did fetch a lot of money as well. Another player which everybody thought will go for a lot of money was Deepti Sharma, and yeah, she did go for 2.6 crores as well. She was bought by the UP Warriors, and you knew that a team like UP Warriors, who was quite silent in the initial bit of auction, would wanted a player like Deepti Sharma. They were looking at, of course, a player like Deepti Sharma primarily because she could also be a poster girl in the team, and also an all-round skill set where she can bat anywhere in the top 7, open the bowling if need to be. is primary reason why she has gone for a lot of money as well. Now, if you look at the UP Warriors squad, they put in a very good squad, right? Look at the squad they've put in. They've gotten Elisa Healy there, and they've got a very good balance in terms of getting those right players for a T20 team. You have to understand, even women's cricket, the T20 game has evolved in a very quick period of time. And that's where you feel like you need players who can do the all-round job a lot more. You need players who can be X factor. To get Shamim Ismail, you need to get Elisa Healy, and also Talia Megra from Australia. Is a fantastic job by the UP Warriors, and that is a phenomenal effort in terms of the squad balance they've been able to generate. At the same time, to get Grace Harris, the all-rounder as well, and to add to that list, they also gotten Sophie Ecclestone. Sophie Ecclestone, the kind of left arm spinner she's been over the last few years. The kind of impact she brings into every team she goes. You have to understand that she was the kind of player you expected to go for big bucks, and she did go as well. She went for 1.8 crores for the UP Warriors, and that's where you feel a team like UP Warriors looks extremely good on paper in terms of balance. And also they got in Lauren Bell, the bowler, in the UP Warriors squad as well. Alongside, you can say Rajeshri Gaikwad, who has been an ace spinner for the Indian cricket team. Now, let's talk about another team. Of course, Gujarat, we didn't mention about them earlier on in terms of their big buy. Alongside that, another player they really went big money, who went for big money, was Beth Mooney, right? Beth Mooney, what she brings to the table, if we've all seen over the years for Australian cricket team, Beth Mooney has been a phenomenal star. And of course, she was expected to go for a lot of money, and she did. Now, one issue with this squad is they're slightly top heavy in terms of players. They've got Ashley Gardner. Ashley Gardner, though she can bat anywhere, with Beth Mooney there, with Sushma Verma as well. You need to understand, you need to really rotate, you need to really find the right balance in terms of setting up a playing 11. And I thought getting someone like a Deandra Doughton is a spectacular buy for this team as well. They also got in the service of Harleen Diol, and this team looks pretty good on paper, but it's going to be very interesting to see what's going to be the ideal playing 11. Now, let's talk about the Delhi Capitals squad. A team people thought they did bid for a lot of players initially, but they really wanted some primary players. They have looked to build a young core as well. Look at the players they've gotten. They've gotten Jemima Rodriguez. Jemima Rodriguez, we all know, she played a spectacular knock on in the opening game of the T20 World Cup against Pakistan. Of course, she was a player in demand, and she did go for big bucks as well. Jemima Rodriguez was bought by the Delhi Capitals for 2.2 crores. Alongside that, they brought in the India under-19 skipper, the as Delhi Capitals over the years, except Virat Kohli, they brought in every India under-19 skipper who have won a World Cup, and rightfully so across genders as well. They brought in Shefali Verma, who has been a power pack opener for the Indian national women's team as well. Buying her for 2 crore is also, one can say, is quite a steal. A future and a maybe possible captain as well in the coming years. So of course, getting her was a big buy for them. And also Meg Lanning, the Aussie skipper, had to get her. They got her for a decent amount of money as well. Now that's why the Delhi Capitals squad looked like a team who are pretty balanced on the paper and can be a competitive squad as well. Now, if you talk about Delhi Capitals, Delhi Capitals bowling lineup, you can say they got Marizine Cap from South Africa, who is a fantastic all-rounder come bowler. You can use the service. Shika Pandey of Indian team is also with the Delhi Capitals. Alongside her is Tava Norris. And of course, we have to talk about Poonam Yadav as well with the Delhi Capitals squad. So Delhi Capitals squad in totality, you can see, is a very balanced squad, and that's where this team is going to be quite interesting as well on the paper as to how they're going to line up. Now, if you talk about Mumbai Indians, we did speak about them earlier on, but one interesting thing about Mumbai Indians squad is that they've not gotten some of the biggest names, right? When you talk about Mumbai Indians over the years, you know that they have a reputation of getting some big names on board. So Harmanpreet Kaur is definitely one of them. But other than that, they've had a very mediocre kind of an auction in terms of their buys. They definitely got Emilia Kerr, Natalie Skiver, and Pooja Vastrakar. But at the same time, in terms of some marquee names, some big names, they've stayed quite quiet, and that's where you feel they got Haley Matthews towards the end, who initially went unsold in the auction for the base price, and that possibly was a steal, because you know what Haley Matthews brings into the table as well. She's an all-round cricketer. She can bat anywhere in the top five, can ball, and also her opening skills. Of course, I believe, and of course, it looks like Haley Matthews will be the opener for the Mumbai Indians squad in the Women's Premier League. So this is it from the women's IPL in terms of the biggest buys and some of the marquee players who went for big monies in the auction, because it being the first edition of the Women's Premier League, there were a lot of constraints for a lot of teams. They definitely had to build a squad for the next 3 years and see how things go from there on. But being a first of many, this looks like a fantastic one to start off with. You saw the reactions from the Indians women's dressing room as well, how they were very excited for each other, how they were cheering on each other in terms of getting picked. And of course, Smriti Mandana, who went for big bucks, will be remembered because she's the first player in the history of Women's Premier League who have gotten sold. And now with the team balance, it's going to be very interesting to see in 3 weeks' time what is the team which is going to be fielded as well. As you all know, the IPL will be played in Mumbai, in CCI, and in Wankhede as well. So with considering the conditions, you need to pick up a team because considering Mumbai surface as well, it's going to be true surfaces for a lot of overseas players. They will not have a lot of issues in terms of the true bounce on those surfaces. And Australian players who have been fantastic is going to give a new flavor into the Women's Premier League as well, alongside some of the English players as well. Now, as you all know, before the men's IPL in 2008, India won that T20 World Cup, which set ablaze the entire IPL project as well. Can that happen again for the Women's Premier League? Can women's team go on to win the T20 World Cup? Because that is going to be a spectacle. If women's team goes on to win the T20 World Cup in South Africa, as you all know, even the men's team in 2007 did win that World Cup in South Africa as well. Can it be a coincidence? Can it set a stage for a big generation of talent to be produced in the IPL? Because if they go on to do that, so it's going to be the perfect start for the Women's Premier League. Because right after the T20 World Cup, it's going to be the Women's Premier League, which is going to kickstart in India. I hope you all enjoyed the video. If you did, please like the video and also subscribe to our channel, and also share the video with your friends so that we can keep bringing you more of this exciting content and also keep sharing some insightful news as well. Take care, all of you, and have a good time. Bye bye.